Welcome back to the TBR Podcast, where you never know what the weather is. Is it summer? Is it fall? Who the hell knows?
Mind your business.
Mind your business. I'm Kelcie, and I've seen Doctor Who a million bajillion times.
I'm Bree. I've never seen it.
I'm Brady, and I've seen it twice-ish.
Wow, we just did the Brady pose, and he didn't even do it.
I like to be different.
Damn. He's different.
So,
Okay.
this week,
Sorry, it's just a little.
So this week we watched Season 3, Episodes 4 and 5, Daleks in Manhattan, and the Evolution of the Daleks. So this was a two-parter. And we're just gonna get into the first part. If this is too much for you, girl, like to be in the shadow of Rose, then leave.
Yeah.
So, Episode 4,
Okay.
Daleks in Manhattan. It was written by James Strong, hold on. Directed by. Okay, Episode 4, Daleks in Manhattan. It was directed by James Strong and written by Helen Raynor, and it premiered April 21st, 2007.
Cool.
So the Doctor and Martha investigate disappearances in New York's Hooverville in 1930. Mr. Diagoras, a businessman who was working with the Daleks to attach a conductor to the top of the under-construction Empire State Building, arrives to offer work to the homeless. The Doctor volunteers for a construction job in the sewers after hearing that not everyone who goes down there returns. Martha is captured by a pig slave commanded by the Daleks to be used as a subject in the Daleks' final experiment in their underground laboratory. Or laboratory. I don't know why I said it like that. No, I'm just trying to be different.
You're different.
Laboratory. I feel like the Daleks would say it like that. Dalek Sec of the Cult of Skaro merges his body with Diagoras, becoming a human Dalek hybrid. Dun dun dun! So right off the bat, fun fact about this episode is that, Stephen Moffat, who is a well-known writer and later going to be head of Doctor Who, he was originally supposed to write this two-parter episode, but he was like, I don't want to. Actually, I'm going to write the banger episode that's later in this season, my favorite. And so this was given to Helen Raynor, who is the first woman of the new Doctor Who to write an episode.
Oh, wow.
So let me see. Yeah, she's the first woman to write, a televised Dalek story. And she is the first woman to write a story for the revived series.
What?
So she's the first woman in this revived, so not classic Who.
Okay.
So she's the first woman to write a story.
Yeah.
For Doctor Who, this series. But she was also the first woman of history, so even classic Who, to write a Dalek story.
Wow.
Yeah. So good for you, Helen.
Oh, I love that, Helen. Thank you.
Yeah.
Let's just get this off the bat real quick.
Uh-oh.
We go to we're in New York. All right.
New York.
In the 1930s.
Yeah.
In the 1930s.
Yeah.
And Miss Girl is black.
Yeah. They said, we're going to talk about it once and then never again.
They said, black and white, we're all homeless. We're all good. We're all family.
Here in Hooverville.
Who in Hooverville?
The leader of the Hoovervilles were black.
Right. Also, what? Not that we really need to see, racism in here.
Right. But it could add an extra layer of realism to the history that we're seeing.
Yeah, plus, you got a black companion. We're going back in history.
Yeah.
Shouldn't we see... I don't know. It was I don't want to see the racism, I guess. Mm-hmm. But also, if you're going back in our history for real, I don't know.
Maybe...
where do you draw that line for suspension of disbelief?
I know.
Yeah. Because, I do think that it is important to talk about. Right. Because that is our history.
Yeah.
And it's, a shitty part of our history. But, hey, don't erase it. We need to learn from it. Hello.
And plus you have a black companion going back in the past. So,
and that would, I think, have added depth to Martha's character more.
For sure.
Because, yeah, like, she's black, but also she's a woman.
Yeah.
And so, and especially because everyone thinks, and I mean, true, that she likes the Doctor.
Right.
Wouldn't that be also, like, looked down upon in those times? Because he's white and she's black. And, like, mixed couples were not supported. So
I was just like, I don't know. It just felt too, we're all the same here. We're all homeless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I don't know anything about that in, like, Hooverville. Like, do we think that in history in Hooverville that, like, racism wasn't as, like, prevalent because they were all homeless?
They probably were like, we're all together, but there's definitely segregation. Like, there was still segregation.
Yeah.
So there probably would definitely still have been segregation. I don't think that head would have been black.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know, for the show.
For the show.
But I'm just like,
So some of this episode was filmed in New York, but most of it was filmed in the UK. And when they saw the Statue of Liberty, so that was actually filmed, I believe it was in Wales. And they found a wall that looked like the base of the Statue of Liberty, so that's where they were filming.
Oh, okay.
So you can see the skyline is CGI, which they would have made CGI anyway.
Yeah.
Because they had to make it look like the 1930s.
Yeah.
Which they did a pretty good job. Especially, I think, when they were in Hooverville. And that skyline, I felt was really good.
Yeah.
But, yeah, a lot of the cast and crew filmed in New York, but David Tennant did not. And he was jealous. He's like,
dang.
Also, there were supposed to be Art Deco Daleks in this episode.
Oh, that would have been cool.
But obviously that didn't happen. But David Tennant had talked about how that was going to happen, but then it didn't. So David Tennant's a liar.
A fucking liar.
But I love him, and he can lie to me all day long. He's just a fanboy like us.
But going to the beginning of the episode. That's my girl. I love her. I forgot her name. What's her name?
Tallulah?
Tallulah! I love Tallulah. What y'all think of Tallulah?
Huh?
What y'all think of Tallulah?
I liked her. Apparently a lot of people didn't. They felt that she was like a caricature.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, I think it works. As an American, how did you feel about the Americans portrayed in these episodes?
I know it's the 1930s.
Yeah.
So, like, but it did feel like different eras in a way. Because, like, the showgirl, you know, she was very much like, this is a New York movie. You know,
yeah, her accent was very...
Yeah, which I still loved.
Loved
it. So fun. But then you saw, like, the mob boss main guy. So, like, those kind of fit. But then, like, Hooverville, I mean, I know there was, like, different, you know, like, hierarchy, whatever. But I was just like, it's 1930s, but then it's not 1930s.
But I think that was, like, the point was to show, like, this is the reality of most Americans.
No, yeah.
And this was, like...
But I think even for the accents, too. And mind you, they were New York up there. And then, like, we're kind of regular.
Yeah. Like, Hooverville was, like, a mishmash. So, like, you had Andrew Garfield's character, who he was, like,
from Tennessee.
And then, like... So it seems like, okay, there's a bunch of different people from different states.
It was just like...
Yeah. But apparently some Americans, when this first broadcasted, were like... I don't like how you're portraying us. I didn't get that at all. Did you get that? Like,
who cares?
Yeah.
Watching Doctor Who for the aliens.
Yeah, I had no,
And honestly, that was 100 years ago. I can forgive them if they're a little off.
Yeah.
I don't know better.
How did you feel about the accents? Because not all of the people who played Americans were American.
I loved Miss Tallulah's.
She's not American.
Oh. No, but hers definitely felt like in a movie, like back in the day, a movie you would watch. And I loved it. I also ate it up. Mm-hmm. The mob boss guy, was he American or no?
Yes. Ooh. He was American.
It was giving Scarface, Tony Montana. Ate it up. That's fine. But yeah, the rest I was like,
Andrew Garfield.
It came in with, it was in and out.
Yeah.
But
because we know he's British, love him.
Yeah.
But
he was young.
Yeah. He did better in Spider-Man.
Oh, 1,000%.
But, you know.
This wasn't his strong
No,
his strong
that's
role.
okay.
That's right.
He was on Doctor Who.
I screamed when he popped into the tent.
Yeah. Were you like, wait, not expecting?
No, because there was somebody else I recognized. I forgot who it was. But I was like, oh, that's cool, da 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 da. And then boom, he popped in.
We love our boy Andrew.
We love him. What do you think about Andrew?
I love him. He did pretty good, other than like some slip ups with the accent.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I love seeing people in like shows that I love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love those little cameos.
And it's fun because I feel like this was before Andrew Garfield was like an A-level actor. So it was like fun to be like, oh, this was his start.
Like his roots.
Yeah. So I always enjoy seeing that.
Yeah.
I always love going back to shows that I've watched like as a kid or something, and then recognizing so many people that I never knew was in it.
Yeah. Especially like if there's popular like actors now, and you're like, oh my gosh, like they're up and coming. Then you go back and like, I've seen them before.
Wow,
Yeah.
they were quite prolific.
Yeah. I was like, what?
No, off topic, but on topic to this. We'll get back to Doctor Who.
Absolutely.
But one of the ones that pops into my head is the Borrowers. Did you ever see that as a kid?
I know that name.
They were like little people living in the floorboards.
Oh,
of the
I
house.
feel like I've seen that one time.
Bro, it's got Tom Felton, who played Draco Malfoy. He's a little kid in it. You've got the guy who played Arthur Weasley in Harry Potter.
Hello?
Who plays like, and then you have, so many people. I was just,
John
what the heck?
Goodman.
Huh?
Yeah, John Goodman is in it.
Yeah, John Goodman. So many actors.
Hugh Laurie.
Huh?
Hugh Laurie. He's House.
Yeah.
Got everybody, like a big ass cast.
Yeah. And I just remember loving that as a kid.
Yeah, and then you come back and like,
And then I'm like,
wait, we got
Draco
Malfoy.
I thought he was a girl.
Yeah.
I love that movie. It's so good.
I have to watch it again.
We should watch
I said
it.
like one time, like back in the day.
We were literally before we started recording this, we were talking about all these other movies we need to watch, like The Labyrinth and Secret of Moonacre.
Yeah.
So we just have like
Do like a
little
nostalgia movie night.
It's only
Ready?
Anyway,
back to Who.
So, so like I know we touched on the CGI, but I always do when Brady's here.
Yeah, absolutely.
But overall, Brady, what'd you think of the CGI? Seeing the Statue of Liberty, skylines.
Again, could super tell.
Yeah.
But with everything happening in the episode, it was so easy to not pay attention to it. Like it was really easy for me to be like, okay, yeah, they're in New York.
Yeah.
Okay.
So really good.
For
yeah.
sure.
The only thing that I thought was weird, this isn't a fault for the CGI, but like towards the end of the second episode, I've got some stuff. But
Okay. So, Doctor and Martha, they end up in New York, 1930. And they go to Hooverville because the doctor, they get a newspaper and they see,
they're going missing.
Something's happening. So they head on over and they meet Solomon.
Yeah.
Who's the head of like Hooverville, kind of. And I did not agree with him when that other guy like stole the bread from the other guy.
And then he split it.
And he's like, here.
First of all, he stole it from me. That's all
that was
mine.
I'm giving him a little bit at the end.
Yeah.
But not half. I worked hard for that.
No, I was like, that's crazy. We're all hungry. First of all, that was my bread.
Let
my
bread.
Me decide.
But also, you know, it worked out.
Equality.
Equality.
At the end of the day.
Thank you. So they go head on over. They're like,
over yonder.
Yeah, to the sewers. Because they're like, who here wants a job? And then again, everyone just trusts the doctor. And Solomon and Andrew Garfield, they're like, well,
he's going.
I'll go. And then again, no one is like a woman in a leather jacket and jeans.
Yeah. A black woman.
A black woman in modern looking clothes. You're gonna go work?
Right.
Is that allowed?
Literally.
Like, but again,
we're just ew.
And so they go
to
the sewers. And the first thing that they discover is like this weird kind of brainy,
squishy little
jellyfish thing.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember if the doctor licked it or not, and I was.
I literally was waiting for him to lick it. I was, but he didn't.
But like, it was like,
because he was like holding it all close to his face, sniffing. I was like, "Don't you dare!
Don't you dare!"
Oh, I was waiting for it,
but he didn't.
But he didn't.
Did we find out how that got there?
It was just thrown away. Left to die is kind of what they were saying.
Like, what was it? I kind of forgot.
It was Dalek organic material.
Yeah, because you find out in the second episode that they were trying to make pure Daleks from, the organic matter, and it didn't work, and so he was like, yeah, I found your little, experiment in the sewers.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So, he takes it with him.
Yeah.
Because they're going to go do some, test it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when they go up and they meet Tallulah. They're at the theater, and she, holds a prop gun to them.
Yeah.
And she's like, hands where I can see them.
Yeah, that's my girl.
Yeah. Love her.
I love her. Yeah.
And then it's just all chill, and they're all happy and hanging out.
And growing and chit-chatting.
And she's like, have you seen my man? What's his name?
Laszlo.
She's like, my Laszlo.
Yeah.
He's the only guy who ever loved me.
He's been missing for 2 weeks now.
Dang.
But she always gets a little rose.
She still gets her rose.
The actor who played Laszlo, also American.
Oh, okay. He did pretty good, I think.
Well, yeah.
Oh, wait.
He should be.
Oh, he's American.
I don't think he really did an accent. Did he? Did he do a New York?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I think it was
if
just
he did, it was very light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because his felt the most,
regular.
Yeah. As an American.
Yeah.
Was regular to me.
That was so much of a range.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's fine.
But this is where we get Martha and Tallulah having a little conversation. Because, they're like, well, what's your man?
Right.
You and him, the doctor? Oh. And Martha's like, I don't know, sometimes, I think maybe, but then I don't know. And then they make a funny joke about,
he's gay.
He's gay. Oh, he's a theta man. Oh, wow. So that was kind of funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, I'm just over Martha constantly being obsessed with
pining after him.
Yeah, because girl, you've got so much more to worry about, it feels like. And you'd have that on the back of your head, but with all these strangers, you're constantly bringing it up.
I know.
It just feels weird. And maybe she's not constantly bringing it up. It just feels like that in my brain.
My least favorite part was towards the end that Kelcie mentioned. I think that was
So I think it was
episode 2 as
yeah.
well. Yeah.
Yeah,
so
she
keeps doing that.
Yeah.
I'm like,
especially in times of crisis.
Yeah, you're about to die.
You're trying to figure out how to, get the situation under control.
Which is weird. You'd think a doctor would be a bit more focused on the current problem.
Yeah.
But I don't know. But maybe that's why she's good for the doctor, because she has that curiosity and her mind swims. I don't know.
Don't fight
I don't
know. It's annoying.
It is a little annoying.
Especially right after Rose. And now this one's me and the doctor. I want the doctor.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So I want to hear what do you think are the differences, and are there any similarities between Martha and Rose so far that really stand out to you? That maybe the doctor is drawn to Martha maybe because there's similarities or something? What do you think?
I mean, I just see obviously she has that compassion. She's a doctor. You could see when we first met her, she's going to the patients, stopping, from taking away from the doctor to be with the patients. Mm-hmm. But that's a little curiosity, obviously. I don't know.
I think it's just morals and intelligence.
Yeah.
She's smart enough because, even that first episode, she's like, well, these doors aren't airtight. We must have a bubble around us. So, she can figure stuff out. And then, she's a doctor. She wants people to live and has those correct morals. I think that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think she's missing that, the doctor would be yeah, you're not Rose?
Since Rose was younger, she was more... What's the word?
Not naive, right? Or are you thinking?
Not naive. Just less mature. Because I think with Martha, obviously she's in her 20s. You can see she's a little bit more mature compared to Rose, where she was silly, goofy and joking and had this childlike wonder to her with the doctor. So I think that's the only difference, was just their maturity level.
Yeah, I agree. I think somebody like the doctor who's lived for so long and experienced so many horrible things, it's such a breath of fresh air to have somebody who's fun and sees things through that lens of childlike wonder.
Yeah.
Where, Martha is surprised at everything that's happening and like really curious and thinks it's beautiful and whatever. But, I don't see her like, running through a meadow or something with the doctor or something, which Rose totally would.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I like that. Yeah. Because I'm always so curious because like I've kind of talked about before, Martha does get a lot of hate. And like, granted, I don't love her. She's not my favorite companion. But I think maybe at a different time in the doctor's life, they could have been better.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. I think like that childlike wonder.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I think she probably gets more hate too because like right after Rose, we see 2 seasons of them like they're locked in, they're the yin and yang. And then so she's obviously not Rose. She's a little bit more mature and plus like she's more open with her like infatuation with the doctor. So I think people are just like, I'm put off.
Yeah.
Like I get it.
Yeah.
Like, I get why she's into him, but it's just like we're mourning Rose too. So it's like I don't want to even think about this right now, which is why I think like people really like the next companion so much because it's not that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank God.
And it's been a while, like this is still really fresh off of Rose.
Right.
Yeah.
Poor Martha.
Yeah. Also, I mean, in my opinion, this is one of the weakest seasons.
Yeah.
And that's me. Brady loves this season.
I just think it's fun.
Yeah. Like we all have our opinions and like I'm not saying you're wrong, you're not saying I'm wrong. Like that's just like how I feel about the season. It's just not the strongest overall.
Yeah.
To me.
No, I agree.
Totally agree. Yep.
Brady agrees?
It's not the strongest. No, I don't think. I really like the overarching. Like I feel like the seasons are really united outside of this current season.
Yeah.
But like the individual episodes in this season, I really like the things they do and the things they explore. And it may not be too cohesive or anything, but it's fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, we get the best episode ever, so.
Yeah, later. We get a really good episode.
This season?
Yeah.
Is my man back?
No. So, yeah. So we find out that, okay, Laszlo is a pig man.
What's with them and pigs? Didn't they do pigs before?
I know. I mentioned that. I mentioned that with
the
Brady.
second time they've done pig people.
Yeah, because in the Slovene episode, there was like, it wasn't quite the same because it was like,
but it was like
more pig.
Pig.
Yeah.
Person.
Yeah.
Okay.
But pigs are really intelligent, apparently. So maybe like they have, apparently they're really, really intelligent. Look that shit up. But so maybe like it's an easy transformation between humans and pigs, like to combine them into slaves.
Because when you say like, what's our closest relative? Isn't it like
the dolphin?
No,
monkey.
It's a monkey. It's like
but
chimp.
Dolphins are really intelligent too.
But I don't think you have a dolphin person. It's been water, Kelcie. It's like when you see the trends for like, a chimp person, or that'd be like us.
Maybe like they were like, no, we are not going Planet of the Apes vibes. Right. You know, people would think of that.
Yeah,
maybe.
I love the way you think.
Pigs possess remarkable cognitive abilities that have been increasingly acknowledged by researchers and animal behaviorists. Pigs have demonstrated remarkable problem-solving abilities, spatial memory, and an aptitude for learning complex tasks.
I want a pet pig.
I mean, have you seen Charlotte's Web?
Yeah.
I mean, duh.
How do you think they filmed that whole movie?
Oh, he's a funny one.
Right.
Back to pig people.
Also, I forgot that right before they meet Tallulah, Andrew Garfield doesn't make it.
I would look cynic.
Finnick.
Was that not a Finnick scene right there?
The pig.
They're going up the ladder. He's coming up last. And they grab him. They pull him down. They close it.
No. Andrew. Finnick. Yeah. That was sad. But Spoiler, he made it.
Yeah. I was scared to see him as a pig person, but then he was.
He would have been a cute pig person.
He would have been a very cute pig person. I would be with him if he was a pig person.
Damn.
So yeah, lost our boy.
Yep. Meet Tallulah.
Mm-hmm.
And this, to me...
Uh-oh.
So the doctor's doing his little experiments, whatever. And he's like, wait, da-da-da-da-da. That could only mean Daleks. I was like, really?
We're seeing them too much for it to be like, holy shit, it's the Daleks.
Yes.
It's kind of crazy that it's like, okay, like they did the emergency temporal shift and they went away.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But then like, how many episodes later is this?
That's what I'm saying.
4.
It's like, he could have
5.
spent 300 years traveling until he magically appeared in 1930s Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Just so odd that it's so immediately after.
It felt way too soon.
Because when we saw that whole like temporal emergency, whatever, I was like, ooh, we're gonna see them in a couple seasons. It's gonna be like a good like, damn, that's where they went. Okay, we just saw them.
Yeah.
So
it's like taking away from the scariness of Daleks.
Because like they're supposed to be extinct. And we're just seeing them over and over and over again.
Yeah.
I feel like part of the scariness is not seeing them.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What are they up to?
Yeah.
What have they been doing?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, well, it's still just the 4 of you.
Yeah.
In the Empire State Building.
Yeah. So it just kind of was like, oh, okay.
Like, great.
Wow.
I ruined that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I do think that the how they were like sacrificing parts of their like casings or whatever, like the Dalekanium to put on the mask and stuff. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
That was cool. I didn't like that.
Way to do that. Not a fan of the name Dalekanium though. I feel like we could have thought a little harder about that one.
But so they chase Laszlo as the pig man. They chase him down back into the tunnels. Tallulah with them this time. And they run into him and she's like, who are you?
How do you know me?
Yeah.
Do I know you?
And it's Laszlo.
Oh.
And he's obviously different from the other pig people. He's not 100%.
Yeah, he didn't get changed. He escaped.
Yeah. I did like the little joke where he was like, yeah, they take the like least smart, whatever, the least intelligent. And she was like, but you're the smartest man I've ever dated.
I love
She's so sweet. She's so cute.
God.
But yeah, so we find out that the Daleks are rounding up people using the pig slaves, but they still don't know why.
Yeah.
Right? And so the doctor, Martha, they all figure out, okay, we've got to go. Pig slaves get Martha. She sees Andrew. Oh my God. And doctor's like, Tallulah, can you find your way out? And she's like, oh, yeah. And she doesn't, of course, she gets lost. Yeah. But whatever. She's fine.
She's fine.
She's chilling.
She's fine.
And so the doctor goes, finds Martha, gets in line with them, and is like, don't say nothing. They get to the Daleks. Now, this part specifically, I think is really interesting because the doctor is like trying to figure out what the Daleks are doing, right?
Right.
And he's like, Martha, like, ask this question for me because I can't draw attention to myself, right? And she's like, what? Like,
yeah.
And this, I think, shows a big difference between Martha and Rose. Because the doctor, all he'd have to do is ask once, didn't need to say why, wouldn't need to, explain anything. She would have just done it.
Yeah.
But while Martha, she's like, I'm going to get in trouble. Like,
oh my God, they're going
to draw attention on me if I do that. Yeah. Like, what? Well, like, I think Rose had the mindset of the doctor comes first. He's going to save me even if I get into trouble. Yeah. But he needs to save everybody.
Yeah.
While Martha, she's like still self-preservation, which is totally valid. Yeah. But I think that's a huge difference because the doctor ought to be like, come on, just ask.
While Rose would just blindly, no matter what. Yeah, okay, boom.
Yeah.
I'll ask.
Yeah.
Yeah. She had a lot more confidence too. Because she'd be like, let's you should. It's like, okay, fumbling it, but okay.
No, I love Rose.
I love her.
It makes me think of the Christmas episode when he turns into Tennant. And she thinks Tennant's like not the Doctor anymore, and she goes down. She's like, the Shadow Proclamation and the Slovene and Rexicora Patelicatoris and the Daleks. This girl thought she ate it up too.
Yeah, she's like, damn.
And then they started laughing at her, and she's like, could never be Martha.
No. Yeah.
But we find out that the Daleks have this final experiment.
Yeah.
Did you have any thoughts on what this final experiment, any thoughts on that?
What were my thoughts at the time?
What are your thoughts on
So the final experiment.
Yeah, the final experiment of the Daleks.
I thought they were going to try to, kind of what they were doing, trying to recreate Daleks. I didn't think it was a take us and them and, I thought it was going to be some sort of separate thing that they're going to, use the building somehow to power and make new Daleks. Instead of, they were kind of that, but, the piece of themselves with the whatever and the combining.
Right.
But the same thing, just
Do you think there's more to this final experiment, though, or do you think that's it?
I have no idea. Tell me, is there?
Well, no, I'm curious because, yes, we know that they were trying to make more Daleks, but, why are they trying to make more Daleks?
Well, because they're on the edge of extinction.
Right.
Why?
But, what's the goal of the Daleks?
To take over the world.
Right. And, to get rid of everyone else that's not like them because they're, Daleks are supreme.
Right.
I don't know.
Where are you leading me? Tell me.
I don't know. This final experiment thing. It's kind of interesting.
I don't know. Let's take a little moment on it. What does that mean?
Take a little moment
on it. Yeah.
And then you ding ding, and then you get the when you saw that, because this was a little while ago, but
but we did
they
see.
took
what
that Mr. whatever his name was.
Oh, that's what I thought they were. Actually, I forgot that happened first.
Yeah, they kind of went back and forth, different POVs.
Yeah, so I think they were gonna just put Daleks inside of the humans. So I thought at first, because they took
pregnant.
Not that one. Because they absorbed him or whatever.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, they're gonna try to put themselves and morph into the Dalek people, but for everybody on Earth. Right. They were to turn everybody on Earth into Daleks.
Okay.
That's what I thought they were doing.
Got you.
Got that happening first.
Yeah, I know. I can't. It's just
you're not great at leading this.
I'm not. I don't know. This episode for me, just again, it's very
didn't really
basic.
care. Yeah.
It was a lot of information, and it was a lot of just okay, we're in this world. Daleks, pig people.
Yeah, we get that classic 2-part structure. Part 1 is let's set it all up.
Yeah.
Part 2 is let's fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, this might be one of my least favorite 2-parters.
Mm-hmm.
Just because it feels so meh.
It wants to be oh shit, they're gonna take over the world again. But then it's we've already been through that a couple times, and it just
and it's
flat.
At the end of the day, I know the Doctor's gonna win.
Yeah, and I didn't feel that pressure. Oh shit.
Yeah, I felt very light.
Yeah.
In this, again, they're making the Daleks maybe a little bit too comedic sometimes. I love when they throw out a good sassy one-liner.
Oh no, I love that.
But when it's this, I don't know.
I wasn't as scared of them.
No.
Anymore.
Yeah.
Where it's the last time was they're at Torchwood and the Daleks are coming out of this big thing and it's a huge deal.
Yeah. And there is only 4 of them, but we have a million Cybermen.
Yeah, and you see how powerful they are as just 4.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel Dalek should be involved when the scale is that high.
Yeah.
It just feels weird to kind of have them here.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
I think that maybe, and maybe this is just me, but Daleks on Earth feel less powerful than Daleks in space. Like, when I see Daleks in a space setting or another planet setting that's unknown to me, and, like, it's, like, the unknown plus, you know, this alien that's, like, super powerful. Yeah. Like, that, to me, makes the stakes higher. Yeah. This, when we're, like, people doing crazy acts, you know, and then, like, in Earth that I know, especially because it's New York, where, like, this is the U.S. where we live, like, it just, it doesn't feel high stakes.
I feel like I don't see them doing enough to be like, oh shit, like, they're powerful as fuck. We're like, we should really be scared of them. Like, I'm like, they can incinerate a person really quick. And like, okay. But we haven't seen them, like, we wiped out a whole town or a whole city.
Yeah, they haven't really like, done anything yet. Yeah. Like, they've been taking people, but like...
I'm waiting for that, like, oh shit, you know?
Yeah. I'm really surprised that they were making pig slaves, too. Like, I feel like that's so beneath them.
Yeah. They got thumbs. Daleks don't got thumbs.
I mean, I suppose it makes sense, but at the same time, just weird.
Yeah.
But
something's off.
Yeah. I also feel like this was giving the same vibe a little bit as the Cybermen episode when they went to the parallel universe, because it was like, okay, the homeless are being taken.
Yeah.
And
it's like copy and paste here a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit of that vibe.
Yeah. 100%.
Because again, they were humans still behind it. And like, I know the Daleks were behind this, but they still had human counterparts helping. Like, you had Mr. Diagoras and, you know, with the crew and all that. It just,
The Cybermen one felt more like...
That one was like large scale. Like,
it's so small. I mean, I know they had like all the bodies or whatever, but it still felt very like small scale. So it's like, oh.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we did see the first Dalek-human hybrid come out at the very end.
That was cool, though.
What do you think of the design of that?
I thought it was cool. I was like, that's a perfect little mix there.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, again, the practicals, amazing.
Yeah.
Like, so good.
Yeah.
And
I thought that his voice was really good, too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I thought that was a perfect mix of, like, computerized Dalek and human fluctuation stuff. There was one line, I think, in the second one where I thought he just sounded like himself again, but that was it. Yeah, but really good.
Okay. So that hybrid Dalek human was featured on the cover of Radio Times for that week that the Daleks of Manhattan aired.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it would have gotten me excited to see it.
Hell yeah.
Like, to be like, oh, it looks like a Dalek, but it's like a human. Like, what?
Yeah.
So, I really did like the design of that.
Yeah. No, that was perfect.
What I like about this second part is that, and we'll go into more depth when we are in it, but this idea of, like, Daleks who are this, like, Nazi, pure race, whatever. Yeah, like, mixing with humans and starting to kind of evolve.
Exactly what I was
Yep. This idea is so cool. I just wish there was a better build-up, I think.
For sure.
And a better setting, almost.
For sure. Yeah.
Because this had so much potential.
Yeah.
It just missed a little bit for me.
Yeah, because it felt like such a growth potential, like an arc for them.
Yeah.
But then,
I almost wish that they would have put that in a little sooner, like started with that.
Yeah.
And then built on it more that way.
Yeah, for sure.
But
yeah.
That's my thought. So what would you rate this episode?
Maybe, I'll say a 5.5.
Damn.
Because I love Tallulah. My Andrew was there.
That's
it. Yeah.
What would you rate it, Brady?
Probably like a 6. Yeah. There was a lot of really cool and really great stuff. Just packaged kind of poorly.
Yeah.
And hastily.
Yeah. I'd probably give this one, like 5.5.
Yeah. Potential.
It had potential. Second part's better.
Yeah.
But I'm not excited for next week's episode.
Why? Better or worse? Wait, worse it means?
She was looking forward at all the other episodes after we were done.
Because I knew it was next.
I hate this one. I hate this one. I hate. And I was like, oh, I liked all these.
We'll talk about this at the end of this podcast episode a little bit. But getting into episode 5, part 2, Evolution of the Daleks. It was directed by James Strong and then written by Helen Raynor. And it aired April 28th, 2007.
Yeah.
So, the Doctor... I always say so right before I start. I'm just like, I don't know.
Get it right.
The Doctor frees a group of the kidnapped humans, including Martha, from the Daleks' laboratory.
Thank you.
The Daleks plan to implant the other kidnapped and mind-wiped humans with Dalek ideas and Dalek DNA to create a new stage of Dalek evolution, powered by a strike of gamma radiation conducted by the Empire State Building. Sek hopes to give emotions to this new race of Dalek humans after these were originally removed from the Daleks. The other Daleks betray and murder Sek, as this action would no longer make Daleks supreme. The Doctor interferes with the gamma strike on the Empire State Building's mast, adding Time Lord DNA to the awakened Dalek human army controlled by Dalek Khan. The Dalek humans betray and kill 2 of the remaining Daleks, and Khan destroys the army and escapes from the Doctor.
A lot going on there.
There is. They really packed this one full.
Yeah.
So right away we see, okay, this new hybrid Dalek. And the Doctor, you know, he's finally like, okay, it's my time to shine.
Yeah.
He goes to the radio and he's like, oh, hey, sorry, that was me. You know, hi.
Yeah.
What's up? The Doctor, you might know me. And they're like, the Doctor,
Get him.
the main enemy of the Daleks.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, well, you know what? Sound.
Yeah.
I don't know. But before that, we do get a little sneak peek into the way that this Dalek human hybrid thinks.
Mm-hmm.
Because they have a little conversation here, right? Where the Doctor's kind of like trying to figure out, okay, so like tell me, like what do you see? Like what do you feel? And he's like, I can see how like your human minds like work and like ambition and da-da-da. And he's like, okay. And how would like you use that in like, tell me about that more. And he goes the route of like war and being the best, like conquering other people, this very human twisted Dalek view,
For sure.
Right? This is the conversation that's had there.
I didn't write down.
But you didn't write down
notes.
I remember.
Yes. Okay. Mm-hmm. And what's interesting here, and again, throughout this whole episode, I'm just like, wow, this is too relatable right now. Because it's like, you have the Daleks who are like literally trying to wipe out anything that's not like them. And they're trying to like control everybody, right?
Oof.
And you have this new hybrid who's like, saying like, yeah, like humans are, like your wars and, you're not, like the humans aren't so different from us. Which is like, you know what?
True.
Because literally the Daleks, those are Nazis.
Yeah.
And the Nazis were real.
Yeah.
And happened.
Mm-hmm.
And again. But like, it's so true.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, the Daleks are the worst of the human race.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They're not that far off.
Yeah.
And I feel like this just kind of, especially with the hybrid, where he was like, yeah, like you take your emotions. I like your emotions because I can still implement that into my Dalek mindset.
Yeah.
And yeah, the other Daleks didn't like, emotions, whatever.
Right.
But like still.
But they're still like, oh, okay, with these emotions, I'm human, but I can still be the Dalek.
And they're willing, the normal Daleks, they're willing to use humans to make more Daleks, even though they wouldn't be 100% pure Dalek, right?
Yeah.
So, like...
It's weird, before he, like, did the little combining of them two, the main... Sek? Is it Sek?
Sek is the main one that turns into the hybrid.
Boom. Sek, when he was still, like, a Dalek fully, he was still like, we need to do this. Because they were, like, questioning him.
Yeah.
And he was like, all right. But it was just weird to see, like, I don't know.
So there is a little bit of a difference. So Dalek Sek is part of this cult of Skaro. So the cult of Skaro are a little different from regular Daleks. So these Daleks were like made to make ideas and to further the Dalek race.
Like they have names and yada, yada, yada.
Right. While these other Daleks, they were kind of like droids almost. You know, they're like worker bees, while they were more of the thinkers and, you know, the mind, the government type thing.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
So there is a little bit of a difference in their thinking.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, never mind.
But I like where you're going with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, uh-oh.
Because then, you also have
a little bit of emotion or something kind of in there.
Right.
Already.
You do have the two Daleks, like, talking to each other, saying, like, do you approve of what Dalek Sec is doing? And the other one's like, no, I don't approve.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay.
We'll touch base on that.
Yeah, we'll touch base on that later.
I like the really slow head turn.
Yeah.
To see if anybody's around.
Well, it's also like interesting to think of like the society that the Daleks have. And this is where like I'm curious if Classic Who has more of the like how Daleks interact with each other. Because the moments that we've seen between the Daleks talking to each other, it is all very like, we're just talking about the plans. We're very intellectual. Yeah. That little conversation of like was the first one. I was like, oh.
They're like questioning, having their own like thoughts about it. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm so curious on the daily.
Yeah.
How do Daleks talk? Do they talk to each other? Are they very just like closed off because that's the point of the Daleks is not to have these emotional connections with each other?
Yeah.
But like that felt like an emotional connection.
Yeah.
I think the only reason they had it is because they're both in the cult of Skaro. I don't think a normal Dalek
they part of the cult of Skaro? Like that.
They both have names.
Well, there was Khan and Sek, but Sek is the main guy. I thought
the other two were just random Daleks?
I thought that's why I was confused. I was a little confused about Dalek Khan, because did he just like, is there a way to be like, oh, I just got elevated to cult of Skaro? Or like...
I thought they were all the cult of Skaro.
I thought they were all cult of Skaro too.
The cult of Skaro was all the ones in the in the pod. But he was the only one that got away, I thought.
Then how are there two cult of Skaro?
That's where I was confused. I don't know. And
then how was there more of them?
I don't know. Because also I know that like there's different colored Daleks.
Yeah.
And that I thought was the cult of Skaro.
Yeah.
Because Dalek Sec was like the black one. But these other ones looked like normal Daleks. Like they weren't colored to be.
There was one that was like bronzy.
Oh. Well, I thought they were all bronzy. I thought that was like the normal.
I thought normal was like silver.
Sec was, they're normally all bronzy, I think.
Yeah.
These ones might be more bronze than others. Let me just double check.
Yeah, because like I know that Sec is the cult of Skaro, but I don't know about Khan.
Yeah, they're all usually pretty bronzy overall. Sec has the black chassis though.
Yeah.
So he's the only one that was different.
Yep.
Yeah, and he was the one that turned into the hybrid.
Yeah. So it's Dalek Sec, Dalek Jast, Dalek Thay, and Dalek Khan.
Okay, so Dalek Khan was part of the Skaro.
Yes.
And he was so there were two cult of Skaro people.
Yeah.
Or Daleks. And the rest were like regular droid. Okay, interesting. Okay. I didn't catch that, but that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, the Doctor gets everyone to escape by blowing up this radio, making it really loud, so all the pig ears and all the Daleks, like, kind of go insane.
I think they are all part of the cult.
Oh.
Sorry, just wanted to say that. But I'm just looking on, like, the TARDIS wiki.
Yeah, we love wiki.
And it says the cult escaped before being returned to the void by using an emergency temporal shift.
Maybe it's just the leaders? Leaders of the cult of Skaro are the ones that are... I don't know.
Or
Let
maybe
us know.
I think there's only leaders. I think it's just the four of them, and then the head of it is Sec.
Y'all, tell me in the comments. I know you're going to correct us. I'm confused on it. Let us know. Also, look how cute Panda.
I know, looking like her little foot was like twitching.
So cute. Okay.
Okay.
So
they escape.
They escape.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, oh, we gotta warn everybody.
Yeah.
And I don't know how Solomon and the rest of them are just like, okay, so pig people.
Yeah.
And Daleks. Aliens.
Yeah.
But they're kind of accepting it.
Right.
But they're also like, that's crazy. But also they're like, okay, well, I guess I'll get my people together. We stick together.
Yeah.
I mean, Solomon saw the pig people, didn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, like, him and Andrew Garfield saw both.
Yeah.
But, like, the Daleks and stuff?
Like, I mean, if you see pig people, might as well believe there's Daleks, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, convince all these other people who are homeless and already at the lowest of their lives to be like, well, fight these aliens with us. Like, what?
I think it's just because it's Solomon. And everybody already follows him and trusts him and,
like
that
he
kind of thing.
Because we did have quite a few people run away once the pig people and the Daleks came to Hooverville. Mm-hmm. So quite a few still did run. But...
Also, they had so many guns.
Yeah.
In Hooverville.
Yeah.
So many rifles and stuff. I wonder if that's just all because they're vets of World War One and like they kept their service rifles maybe or something. I don't know, but
little plot hole there. Because why did they?
I don't know. I'm not a history buff. I thought you were supposed to be the history buff.
Oh! History appreciator.
Oh, okay.
Appreciator. Okay.
I'm appreciating the thing.
I'm appreciating the history
of Doctor Who.
Of Doctor Who.
Even though it's not accurate. But
okay.
Now, we know that the Doctor does not do guns.
Yeah.
But he lets other people do guns.
Yeah.
But he's like, I'm not going to do guns.
Right.
So I just want to keep that in mind, right? Because he's not a fighter.
Yeah. He's a lover.
He's a lover. He's a strategist,
But also he was like in that group who all had the guns. He was in the middle.
Yeah.
He didn't stop anybody.
He didn't.
Yeah.
And they start unloading.
Yeah.
It just felt so weird. It's like, this seems out of place. Like, he didn't pick up a gun, but it's just like him not disagreeing with it. I don't know.
Yeah. I just want to keep that in mind because this is such a big part of the Doctor.
Yeah.
Because, you got 9 who, like, really the only time he picked up a weapon was at a Dalek.
Yeah.
Right? And all the other times were like, you're gonna shoot me or what? Like, come on, let's go. Like, he was like,
Yeah.
And like, he let Jack do his thing, but I was like, you deal with the fighting stuff. Like, the Doctor, he just is not.
It's just like, for me, myself, I don't do it.
Right.
But I'm not going to say y'all can't.
But I also don't think he sees these people who are, like, fighters. I don't think he sees them as, I like you. I don't know how else to describe it. Like, I don't think that he sees that as something good about them. If you're, like, a fighter. Like a soldier. I don't think
a soldier, he'd be like,
Yeah, I don't think he sees soldiers as like not good people, but like I just don't think he respects that ideology of like being a soldier.
Yeah.
Which is interesting though, because he was a soldier in a sense of his people when he was fighting against the Daleks. But again, this is just something to keep in mind about the Doctor because this is going to be a huge arc for him as we continue. So I just want to keep that in mind.
I think that he like can respect the people.
Yes.
Like respect soldiers as people,
Yeah.
Just
I'm not wording it right.
Yeah, just not the idea of an army and fighting.
Yeah. Like he thinks there is a better way.
Yeah, there's always another way.
Yeah.
For sure.
But yeah, so Sek is still back at home base while the other Daleks are floating in with the pig army. Mm-hmm. And Solomon, he's like, whoa, let's chill here. And I really like this little monologue he does. He sets down his weapon. He's like, I just was told that there were alien life, but we're not so different. Like, you're trying to survive, I'm trying to survive. Like, why not, just survive together, Mm-hmm. And I really enjoy this little monologue.
Yeah.
And it's like right when he's done. Yep, and they kill him.
I feel like he could have, maybe have gotten them to like, But then he's like, but you just have to have compassion, and you have to. And then he started saying like all these emotions. I was like, oh, nope. Mm-hmm. At first, they're probably like, okay, obviously we're not shooting right now. It's like, okay, you got me a little bit there.
See, I don't think so.
The whole time?
Yeah, the whole time. I think the Daleks were like, we'll let him like. We just need our order to shoot and we'll shoot. I don't think they were not swayed at all, because that is what a Dalek is. They are not swayed.
But Dalek Sec was.
But Dalek Sec was.
Yeah.
He gasped when they
just shot him.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's like literally the core of this whole episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like that's what makes the Daleks so scary, is like their ruthlessness. But like with Dalek Sec, it's like, oh, wait, we could have, like, his mind. Like
the emotions are really influencing him now.
Yeah.
Getting him good.
Yeah. Because then the doctor, he's like, okay, no, it's my turn to step up and like, you know, shoot me. Like, you know, leave all these people, blah, blah, blah. And of course, the Daleks that are here, they're like, yes, I will be the one that kills the dog. And Sec was like, no, wait, bring him to me, you know. And they're like, what?
Enemy number one? And you want me to keep him alive and bring him to you?
What? Because that's just not how the Dalek mind works.
Right.
So they end up bringing him. And then we get, again, Martha and the doctor. You know, she's like, well, what about all these people? Which we love. You know, that's definitely a Rose thing to say.
Okay.
And I know I'm comparing to her to Rose, but I think the doctor compares her to Rose, so that's the mindset I'm going in.
Okay.
But he's like, okay, on one condition, you could take me. You got to let these people live. And they're like, okay, whatever, fine. And then the doctor, he like walks off and then he's like, by the way, it was a pleasure working with you, or whatever he said.
Yeah.
And literally, the Daleks are still there while the doctor's walking away. Like, he just gave it to her and she goes, what is this?
Yeah.
And they're still there.
Yeah.
And this bitch pulls it. Like, he was trying to be so sneaky.
Like, sneaky and slick.
And she's like, what?
What is it? Like, yeah.
And I thought that Martha hadn't seen this yet. But she apparently did know what it was, because she was like, yeah, I can get him into places. I just don't quite know how it works. So maybe that, like, and the doctor told her about it. I didn't think that we saw it in an episode where he used it in front of her, but maybe there was a little, you know, something that I didn't see, so let me know. But again, this is where, if Rose was given this, she'd be all up on it.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, it might take her a minute as well, but I think she would have gotten it faster.
Immediately, yeah.
And she would have been like, you know, I'm going to go right away. I'm not just going to sit and think about it. I'm going to move while I think about it.
Yeah.
Because that's what the doctor does, is he moves while he thinks. He's coming up with the plan as he goes.
Absolutely.
Well, you know, Martha, she's like, okay, no, I have to sit. Let's think about it before we do anything rash.
Try to figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So again, I think a little difference between...
Like, one's impulsive, but the other...
Oh, so impulsive.
Yeah.
Which works with the doctor, because the doctor's...
He's impulsive too. Very impulsive. Yeah.
Okay. But, so of course, she's like, oh, I don't know, we gotta go to the Empire State Building, the Dalekinium, whatever. And so they go with Andrew, Tallulah. Laszlo's with the doctor, because
we see him there. Yeah.
So the doctor's brought to Dalek Sec. And again, this is like what to me makes this episode good, is this all the conversations between Dalek Sec and the doctor, because this is where we get Dalek Sec being like, you know, humans aren't so different. Like, you know, we could build on this. Like, I could make a whole new race of Dalek, and, you know, we could actually build instead of destroy, and, you know, all the ideas that humanity has, and, like, the potential, it's just crazy. And, like, the doctor's kind of, like, very surprised, right?
Yeah.
Because the Dalek's like, no, emotions are good.
Yeah.
Like, I like them. They make us better.
Yeah.
And, of course, the other dogs are like, whoa,
What the hell is he saying?
But the doctor's like, yes, emotions.
Yeah.
And the doctor's like, okay, well,
what's your plan?
You know, if I do work with you, like, you know, you can't stay here. And they're like, that's fine. Like, build me another planet. Like, we'll go, you know, build a whole new race, a new world, like, blah, blah, blah. And the doctor's like, okay. And he has this little conversation with Laszlo where he's like, you know, Laszlo's like, can you trust them? Like, you're working with them?
Right.
And the doctor's like, All it takes is one man with one idea. I have to. Like, if there's a chance, I have to take it.
Where were all the bodies from?
So the bodies were like the workers and the homeless that were taken, and their minds have already been wiped. So there really was no saving them at that point. So I think that's where the doctor's like, okay, no, I guess we can do this because they're literally like
empty shells.
Shells.
I don't know. I thought it was odd. I mean, I know.
Tell me about it.
But also, like...
Wouldn't he be like, these were people, they need to be buried.
Yeah.
They need to be honored. And
well, you have the 9th Doctor with the Gelf and with Gwyneth, your girl.
Yes.
And Rose was like, well, they can't just take these bodies. They were people once. And the Doctor's like, but they're not. Like, this whole, like, alien race, they could use them to survive. Like, otherwise they would die off. Like, we can let them take your dead bodies. So the Doctor's not opposed. I think there is a little bit of a morality thing here.
Yeah, I thought the morality thing here for sure. So but like, hey, he's just gonna help them all these, like, just take over all these people.
What's the other choice here?
It's like they didn't just die naturally. They literally took them, erased their minds, whatever.
Which is wrong, and the Doctor thinks that's wrong.
Yeah, but he's like, well, since you already did it, might as well. So I was just like, I don't know, it's weird that he was helping them with that. Like, I get it, because, like, oh, you're going to be a better people, you won't, become extinct, but then it's like, but the way you're doing it just feels wrong a little bit.
Yeah.
So I was just,
Do you think it ties in at all to, like, him having killed his own people and all the Daleks and all the horrors he's seen?
The genocide.
Like, do you think it's partially, like, that, like, mental barrier he's put up, like, between him and death to, like, try and deal with it that's, like, impacting his decisions here? Or
I could see that too, because, like,
I don't know,
they're the last people kind of with my people, but they have a chance to live where my people can't. So might as well help them. Like, I get it.
right. It's about the people who are here. Who can we help?
Yeah, I think that's definitely the mindset, is like, who can be helped? And this could change the whole of Daleks, right? So maybe the Daleks won't be his enemies anymore, right?
Yeah.
Because the other option here is to not help.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't help, then there'd be zero chance of this happening, right? So the only choice I think that he sees is these two, right? Is I don't help and they, hate me or don't become these hybrid whatevers. Or I can help and I can create this new race with them that are good and that, are better than what they were.
I saw that and I was like, yeah, for sure. It was just felt weird to be like, we're going to use all these bodies of the people you basically killed to start that.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Also, the CGI on all that, it was kind of like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, the CGI was decent.
Yeah.
It was good, whatever. But I was just like, this giant cavern filled with all these people, why are they hung? Why are they hanging?
Yeah.
You don't just have them on gurneys, like, stacked off to the side or something?
Because there's a lot of them.
Yeah. But
and
there's
gotta
so
get
much
them out of the
room
way.
around
The laboratory is here.
Yeah.
Yes.
They need room.
Laboratory.
Laboratory is here.
Yeah.
They need room to move around.
Maybe it's so they can fly around them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do a 360 check,
Also, they have other caverns filled with people, and, like, this is a huge cavern. They're like, yeah, we have like 1,000. It seems like such a small number for having multiple caverns all packed with humans.
Yeah.
I don't know. Look, we don't think about that stuff.
It was cool
not my problem.
nonetheless.
Yeah.
It was cool.
Yeah. But yeah, so you have Martha and her crew. They make it to the Empire State Building. They see the plans and they're like, okay, what's different? And they're like, oh, the Dalekanium. It's a little cheesy to me. It's a little cheesy. And they're like, okay, like, what do we got to do? We got to, like, take it off, blah, blah, blah.
I think it was cool how they were comparing the old plans with the new and figuring that out. It was fun seeing a companion like try and solve things on their own again and do it well. But then as they're doing this, time is running short. She's like, "You think the doctor likes me?"
Yeah, no, literally.
To Tallulah.
Like
Tallulah's like, "The guy I love just turned into a pig and is having heart problems."
Right.
Well, like
good for her for being supportive, though.
Yeah.
But like Martha specifically brings up Rose because she's like, you know, he had this companion, and she won't say your name.
Yeah.
Right, which I think is interesting. She's like, it's a companion.
Yeah.
And, you know, I do something, and he looks at me, and I think he's remembering.
Yeah.
You know, her. And like, you know, wishing that she was there instead of me, or you know.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what?
Like, one, yeah, probably. Like.
And like, that is a hard position to be in, but you could go home at any time.
Yeah.
Like, you want to stay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are in the shadow of his last companion.
Who just left.
Yeah. It's like, you could have some sympathy.
Yeah.
And then also, like, yes, there's wonder and there's adventure with the doctor, and of course, like, that would be hard to give up. But, like, if this is too much for you, girl, like, to be in the shadow of Rose, then leave.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's my hot take.
And then also trying to be like, but I think he has feelings for me. Or, like, I have feelings for him, but, like, maybe he does, but he doesn't.
Do you think he has feelings for Martha?
No.
Do you think he has feelings for Martha?
No.
No. I don't know where she's getting it from.
Stop talking about it.
I just hate that this is like her art.
Yes.
I just hate that. Because Martha had so much potential.
Because, like, girl, you're starting to be a doctor. You're, you know, more mature. Like, you're thinking about it more logically, but you still have curiosity. Like, there was a potential there.
There's so much potential.
And now it's just like, but I like the doctor.
Ugh.
But he lost Rose, so I can't be with him. Like, what?
Yeah.
It's like I want Martha to be like this independent, kind of stands on her own 2 feet, doesn't need anybody else. But I guess at the same point, like, she has that giant family. She's probably never known that growing up, which, so maybe it's just the writing for the character could have been better. I don't know, but it is annoying.
Yeah, but I could have seen her coming with, like, a cool new perspective since she is, like, a doctor. She's, like, more grown, like, you know, while the doctor's, you know, being like, what could it be? Like, thinking all these crazy. She's like, well, let's think more logically. Like, come at a different angle.
Yeah.
There could have been a cool balance between them two.
I feel like when the doctor met Rose, he needed somebody like her.
Yeah.
He needed somebody who was compassionate and childlike and full of fun and, you know, everything Rose was.
Yeah.
And then I feel like right after Rose left, the doctor needed somebody strong. Yeah. And somebody who is unwavering and stuff. He's just not getting that.
No.
Yeah.
He needed Donna.
He needed Donna. And he's going to get Donna.
You think?
Yes.
Why are you so like...
Because we're seeing Donna.
Well, we saw her once.
And we're seeing her again.
You think it's like a full-time companion?
Yes. Yup, the next one, maybe. Or the one after that, I don't know. It's coming up soon.
Okay.
Yeah.
You think they planted a companion 2 seasons early?
1 to 2 seasons early, yup.
Damn. Okay. So just kind of wrapping this up. So the doctor gets there. He's like, okay, I'm going to go deal with the Delicaneum. And here, he says, I'm so sorry, Martha, but you're going to have to fight.
Yeah.
He's asking his companion.
He's telling his companion.
Yeah. Not even asking, you're right, Brittany. Telling. You're going to have to fight.
Yeah.
What do you think of that?
He didn't really care much for her at the end of the day. You know? But also, it could be like, I trust you.
But, like, I'm putting you in a position that even I won't do for myself, right? He won't pick up a gun. He won't fight. He won't pick up a weapon. I'm telling you to do that. Something that I wouldn't do, I'm telling you to do. Also, you, who is a person who is compassionate. You're a doctor, you're a medical student, and you save lives. I'm asking you to take lives right now. A young woman who's probably never held a gun.
Right.
Who's never killed anyone for sure.
Still a student.
Yeah. He's telling her that you need to fight.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Do you think the doctor would have done it if he had to be the one to fight? Do you think he would have? Because in my head, the doctor's the only one who can take those plates off.
Yeah.
But if he wasn't the only one who could take those plates off, would he have been the person to fight so that Martha wouldn't have to?
No.
You say no?
No. I think he would have just taken Martha up there with him.
I kind of think he would have. Because I've seen in other situations where, like, he's setting up a plan to kill everything or, like, get everything.
I think of season 1 finale, he had Jack and all the people from Station or Satellite 5, they all were fighting and holding off the Daleks while he was up there.
Well, because he had to. He was like, let me try to give us some time so we can figure this out.
Do you think, though, that he would have gone down and he would have held a gun to the Daleks? I don't think so.
No. But he would have been setting up something else to be like, mass genocide.
Do you think that the doctor's view on it is, like, his morals are skewed on this subject? Because he's so anti-gun, he's so anti-fighting, and he's always the only one who can do all this technical stuff.
Yeah.
He's never, well, in this period, like, he's almost always the person who has to do the technical stuff while other people fight.
Yeah.
When a good man goes to war.
Or do you think that? Or maybe he fought for so long that he became that smart technical guy so that he never would have to fight again.
Yeah. Why what?
I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, the doctor, that's not his real name. He chose that name.
Yeah.
Why did he choose that name?
Because he's a lover, not a fighter.
There you go. Right here. That's something to think about. That's something to think about.
Yeah.
Then Martha kills 6 people.
So
back in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cleverly.
Yeah. But she still does, and that still hits her.
And she's like, these were people still.
Yeah. And Laszlo's trying to be nice. He's like, they were already dead when the Daleks got him, but like
they were still people.
They were still living, breathing.
It does help, but also doesn't.
Yeah.
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 That's great. Like, that was a lot to put on Martha. And I feel for my girl there. I do.
After that, like, obviously we'll see her, continuing, but, like, why didn't she leave after that then? Like, he forced
Or did she?
I don't think so. But it's just, because she's still like, I like him still. I want to be with him. Whatever. So it's like, it's weird how he forced you, basically, to take lives, but you're still going to, like, be by his side.
Like, where's the line to push you over to where you're like, no, I can't do this?
Yeah.
Right now, it feels like there's no line for Martha. Yeah. I don't think there was a line for Rose either.
For sure.
There was no line that was ever going to be crossed where she wasn't going to be at her man's side.
Yeah.
Martha, I don't know, though. Because it feels like she should have a line because that is her.
Yeah.
But, like, the fact that right now she did kill people for the doctor.
Yeah.
And that wasn't a line.
Like, can the line be further than that?
Yeah, well, obviously, yeah.
Is it 10 people?
So I think that that's something else to think about. It's like, where's the line that's going to be crossed?
Like, does it, like, help that they were these pig people now?
Right.
Like, if they had been regular humans for her, because, like, she's a doctor, especially, like, I heal humans, would that be, like, her line? Like, dang, I had to kill humans.
Right. I
don't know.
But she had to kill to save, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the doctor did not get the Dalekanium off. Mm-hmm. He was electrocuted. But he did that on purpose.
Yeah.
He's like, I got my own DNA into these people, not just the Daleks.
Yeah.
So when we see the doctor with the Daleks with these newly created ones.
Yeah.
They kill Dalek, whatever. I don't know. I'm just like, the end of this, like, it felt like it should have been more.
Yeah.
Because then you have this whole army of these people who are like, I'm a Dalek, I'm a Dalek. And they all have these weapons. It's like the final showdown. And the Daleks are like, okay, kill the doctor. And they go, why?
Yeah.
And like, yes, it was a little profound, but it was like, what? Like, but why were they doing all this other shit without questioning?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, why was it just like, okay, kill now? Why?
Yeah.
Doctor lucked out that all of them were thinking the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, this is the second time in this episode where the doctor's like, kill me.
And
Do
then
you think he has a death wish because he can't be with Rose?
Damn.
That's how we're going to choose to look at it from now on.
Okay, kind of skipping to the very end here. Because Martha and the doctor, they're back at the base of the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah.
And Martha's like, yeah, like, you know, they're talking about Tallulah and Laszlo because they're together still. The doctor we had that moment where the doctor was like, you know, if he failed, the Daleks all got killed except for the one, and he did the temporal shift again.
Yeah.
Which, like, okay.
Of course they did.
Again.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, they always win, you know? There's always a one. But they're like, oh, Laszlo's dying, and he's like, no, if I'm gonna I can save one, which this is also a big thing for the doctor, is like, if he can just save one person, it's worth it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And he saves Laszlo. And Laszlo and Tallulah, they get to live with, in Hooverville, Andrew Garfield. And the doctor and Martha, they're talking about it, and she's like, yeah, like, you know, my mom used to always say, or whoever, that, you know, there's someone for everybody.
And the doctor's like, maybe, or something.
Because who's he thinking about?
Rose.
Thank you, Rose. Like, I don't know. I'm just like, does the doctor think that Rose was his, like, true love, his soulmate? Like, at this point, it feels like it, right?
But it's more than that. But yes.
But, right? Like, yes, it's more than that, but it is also that, I think. It's like, it all encompassing.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, because, like, people have not fights, but, like, they debate this topic of who is the doctor's true love. Does the doctor have one true love? Does he have multiple loves? Like, it's a hot topic. And I don't know. There's two people.
Two?
That I think the doctor, like, these two people are, like, the closest you can get to, like, true love. My hot take is I think that Rose was his true love.
Yeah.
I think this other person is something different. It's a different love. It's a different vibe. But, like,
romantically?
I think the other two, the second love, is more on the basis of equals.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I agree.
And they both have a respect for each other.
Yeah.
And an understanding of each other that not even Rose could have. Yeah. And with Rose being gone, I think that's why they had such a good connection, especially because of the doctor's first experience with her.
Oh my God. Stop, Brady. That's my favorite.
What?
I'm so excited for you to meet her.
I'm so excited.
Me too. Donna? Or
have you met her already?
Huh.
Also, Brady, just so you know, like, you've, like, slouched down a lot.
I have.
Just so you know.
No, it's just been your head for a good minute.
Yeah.
Have I been cut off here?
Pretty much. So sorry.
That's all right. I'll make up really small.
But yeah. Okay. So the Daleks escaped. Again.
Didn't see that coming.
Like,
shucks.
When do you think we'll see the Daleks again?
Probably in an episode or two.
At this rate.
Like,
do you think they're going to be like the finale bad guy again? Or do you think they're like, okay, no, we'll skip them again. We'll wait.
think now it better be next season.
Yeah.
If we see him again this season, I'm gonna be fucking pissed. I'm over him.
Yeah.
Didn't the temporal shift like fry some of their circuits or like damage something in them or took a lot of energy or something?
Yeah.
The first time around.
Yeah. They just did it again. Are they weaker than before now?
You would think, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm curious if like it's going to be a while till we meet them as they try and like
get that
crawl back up their health or something or.
And where do you go?
Yeah.
Yeah. What other time period?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do Daleks have gender? I don't think so.
I don't think
Not
so.
that I know of.
Sorry, I'm just like, because I was just called the Dalek a he.
How do they reproduce too?
In a laboratory.
In a laboratory.
Yeah.
You'll
also,
find out a little bit more about
another
that
thing
later.
about like turning the humans into Daleks. I thought it was so stupid that none of them like changed physically.
Yeah.
It's just like a human standing there and be like, yeah, I'm a Dalek now.
Yeah, I'm a Dalek.
Yeah, that's who I am.
Yeah. No, I thought about that too.
It's so stupid.
Especially when they combine
and they're
the
like,
two.
yeah, that's
like,
a Dalek.
Do you think, though, that might have been because the Doctor got in the way and it seems like the Time Lords have a human...
No, it seemed like that's what they were expecting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
Because,
didn't
like,
seem
even
too
still, there would
phased
have
at
been,
all.
like, a tiny bit a change.
Yeah,
like,
they even made human guns for them.
yeah.
Little Tommy guns.
Look, I can answer all your questions. What would you rate?
I know we're ripping it apart, but it was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
Like,
a cool,
it's Doctor Who. Every episode, for the most part, is really fun. I just like ripping shit apart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What would you guys rate this episode? So last one you rated 5.5.
A 6.
Yeah.
Didn't do much better for me.
I'm going to keep mine a 6.
Yeah.
They're both 6s.
I would say 6 as well.
Yeah.
I enjoyed them. Above average for a TV show, I guess. If 5 is the average, I don't know.
Right?
Yeah.
I guess. I don't know. I really don't know what my rating system is here. I will say, though, that I think the next two will be below 5 for me. I just really don't like these episodes.
Better or worse than Fear Her?
What?
Fear Her? What did I give her? Like a 4?
I can't remember.
There was something like that.
I think that was a 4. Okay, so the next two are called the Lazarus Experiment and 42. Lazarus, I think will probably be worse than Fear Her. Just because, like, I don't have my girl Rose, and again, Martha pissing me off. And I don't know, I don't like the episode. I just don't like it. I hate everybody in it. I'm just like, y'all are all horrible. And then 42.
Are they two-part or they're single?
Nope, they're single.
Okay.
42. Probably be like a 5. I don't know. We'll see. It's just like, just kind of like.
Not a strong season.
No. I don't usually skip episodes when I'm rewatching.
Yeah.
But I do usually skip Fear Her.
Yeah.
And I usually skip these two. Or like I just have them on when I'm doing something. Because I don't like these episodes. They're just not my favorite. But then you get good episodes. You get a couple of good ones. And then you have the finale, which is like mid for me. But I'm just saying, this is my weakest season. One of them.
Yeah. I can't wait till we move on from Martha. You had potential. You had potential.
Yeah.
I don't hate you. But I'm not like in the chemistry. Not even like a romantic. But there's no chemistry for me between her and the Doctor. So I'm bored there. You had potential to be like a cool kind of, a different balance between, her and the Doctor. Wasn't there. The seasons are...
Do you think that she's going to leave after this season?
Yeah.
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 Do you think, like, I think we talked about, you said you think she's going to die?
I think she's going to die.
Okay.
For real.
So I can never see her again.
Never see her again.
Okay.
Giving us someone we hate so that we can
Kill
be
them
okay
off.
when they die.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Next week we'll see. Like I said, episode 6 and episode 7.
Yeah.
We'll be watching. I don't know. Maybe you guys will really like them.
Ew, don't do that to me.
I don't know.
You see how much you hate it? Maybe you'll like it.
Maybe you'll like it. I'm not the end all be all of opinions.
Yes,
except
you are.
I am.
I like the Lazarus project or whatever it was.
The Lazarus experiment?
Yeah.
I don't. It makes me think of the Santa Claus movie 2.
2 specifically.
Yeah. Here's a little sneak peek by talking about Santa Claus 2, which I hate that movie. Ooh. First one's good. Second one, I didn't like. Third one, I refuse to fucking watch.
We are passionate about that, okay?
Yeah, because the third one, I hate that butterfly effect trope.
Ooh, I can't handle
because it's like, what, the Frosty Man, he's like...
Frosty Man.
What's his name? it's
Jack
not,
Frost.
What's that guy?
Yeah, Jack Frost. Yeah. He's like, hey, Santa. And then he like goes back in time and then he puts on the Santa suit. So then whatever his name is, the original Santa, like he never becomes Santa Claus.
Yeah.
I hate that movie. It pisses me off. I just hate that trope.
Do we get that trope with this?
No, that's
just for that.
Yeah, this is the second Santa Claus,
one, which is
where it's not the same, but it just reminds me of it because like they have this machine, and then the Santa goes into it, and then it goes, and then out comes a brand new Santa. That's the vibe that I get in this episode because like he goes into the machine and then it goes, and then he comes out brand new.
I don't know what that means, but stay tuned.
You'll find out.
I'll find out here in just a second.
Yeah. But we'll talk about that next week. So join us next week on Wednesday, Doctor Who, episodes 6 and 7.
Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, put the notification bell on. Follow us on Instagram at the.tbr.podcast to stay up to date on everything. Is that pretty?